leads. Here they come, the Breeders' Crown Elimination. And they turn for the stretch, and the sprint is on. And here's Spencer Hanover up on the outside for the victories. And Diabolic Hill will not get caught in his Breeders' Crown Elimination. Storybook Love is closing at her. She's got about a quarter of a length. Now she takes over the lead outside. Can she hold on to it? Storybook Love at 33-1. Todd Ratchford, he'll get a moment next week. And away they go. They're off in pacing a Wahed Dad right on the gate. It's Brandon Boulevard and Dexter Dunn to drive clear late. He'll capture his Breeders' Crown Elimination. It's Brandon Boulevard. Jailbird Jog. She swings for home with a 3-length head start. But Nezuko Kamano will time it right. Sweeps up for the win. And off the turn into the stretch, it's Bojangles leading it. Bojangles remains undefeated in his first 11 start. Lua Deepa, her athleticism is just unmatched. And Lua Deepa, a shutdown winner.
Cam Fella still the best, 19 in a row. Cam Fella.
Battle to the wire. Harmony Chef wins the Simcoe Stakes.
He's big, he's strong, and he has got it going on. Top 25, Canada's horse. Some reach somewhere.
Yeah, motivated on focus.
They are up and pacing.
This is the moment. Gotta one on my opponent.
McWicked on the outside.
Gotta get it the mindset. Gotta put it in motion.
You gotta be kidding me. TCI wins the million.
Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds.
Lean back, get your picture taken.
Crowning moment on Canadian soil for Bulldog Hanover.
Motivated on focus.
A late push from Confederate. It's my show. Wins the big show.
This is the moment.
Happy Friday, everybody, and it's not just any ordinary Friday. As Chad mentioned, this is night one of the Breeders' Crown Finals, what's going to be a 2-night festivity. We're going to kick off tonight with the showcase of these rookies. 4 finals going postward here this evening before we've got 8 going postward tomorrow night. So as Chad also mentioned, congratulations to everybody who made it this point. A lot of these races have very, very big significance. It's not just the size of the purse, but it could very well determine divisional honors as well. I have a guy who's going to join me all night long tonight, all weekend long, and we have got a guy here who has experience competing in some of these races. The Hall of Famer Randy Waples, my co-host here for the duration of the 2-night process, as well as the last several months. And Randy, for you, you've driven, I think, in 29 Breeders' Crowns. You've captured 3 of them. We get to cover this for the first time together. Obviously, I know you got a chance a few years ago. This is my first time hosting a Breeders' Crown. So like Chad calling, I'm happy for him, and I'm really happy to be here in studio alongside you, Randy. But, I mean, these are some high, octane races, obviously races that have great significance. Were you more nervous competing in those races, or are you more nervous covering these couple of nights?
This job.
Really, eh?
Oh, yeah, this job. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I grew up with the other job there, so I kind of had a, pretty good idea. And I was always pretty lucky. I got pretty nice horses to drive, so, that way. But, yeah, I'm kind of more, it seems like I'm nervous for everybody else that's competing. I just want it to go off well, and I don't want to make a mistake, for anybody out there. And just wanted to say one thing, John, it's here.
That's it. We waited
It's here. We've been talking about this since North American Cup. It's here.
You know what? I've gotten a chance to work. I've had the luxury of working so many big-time broadcasts, and I don't think I've been more revved up or more jacked up all day, all week leading up to the Breeders' Crown again. I mean, we know that this event comes every year, but we don't get the opportunity to host it every year. And the talent that we're going to see competing over the next 2 nights, Randy, I mean, we've raved about it from last weekend. And I'm just looking forward to this weekend because, again, the action's going to be jam-packed all throughout the course of the next 2 nights.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. And there's amazing storylines out there that you're not going to get every year. We have an undefeated 2-year-old Payson colt that's going to be racing tonight. You're not often going to see that come Breeders' Crown time.
I know a lot of people are going to be excited about the Blue Jays competing in the World Series, but safe to say that we're also excited to be able to see the action right outside the studio over the next couple of nights. And the action's not the only thing that we're excited about from watching. How about the wagering action that we've got over the next couple of nights too, Randy, especially going into tonight? What a perfect storm with the pick 5 carryover from last night, over $46,000, I believe, going into that early pick 5, which was already guaranteed at $100,000, as we can see there on the graphic. Double pick 6 carryover as well going into tonight's races 4 through 9, and that's going to close it out with the those 4 Breeders' Crown finals. So we've got a strong wagering card, obviously, tomorrow night as well. But these carryover opportunities really strengthen night number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, how lucky can we be? You know, work last night and have 2 carry. I mean, you know, sometimes we've been getting those pick 6 carryovers, but it's rare to get pick 5 carryovers, and we get it going into the first night of Breeders' Crown action. I mean, that is so sweet.
It really is. I mean, we're already looking forward. It's already a strong wagering card anyways in its entirety. I mean, add the couple of carryovers to the list, and it just strengthens the product and the wagering card as a whole as well. And obviously with that pick 5 though carryover, if you go to HPI Bet and you opt in, you must opt in, you're entering in a $2,500 hit and split. So again, depending on how many people capture the pick 5, they're going to divvy up that $2,500, but you must opt in on HPI Bet. So more free money.
You know, take off the host cap for a second there, John. If you were just, you know, back to the handicapping and a player and stuff like that, how you know, impressed of this handicapping board would you be?
A big time, especially with some of these races. I think some of these divisions are really wide open. And look, I think that you could probably turn this pick 6 or pick 5 into either a pick 4 or pick 5, right? Because I think there are a couple horses that really stand out on paper. But anytime you get carryover opportunities, I mean, it's just basically a takeout free wager, and it's a plus EV wager, so that's always good. But speaking of wagering, we're gonna touch on some of those Breeders' Crown divisions, and I mentioned that is a part of that pick 6 sequence, but it also kicks off the all stakes pick 5, that mid pick 5. We're gonna kick things off here with the 2-year-old filly trot, Randy, and I talked about some of the competitive divisions. I know Nezuko Kamado was ultra impressive in her elimination victory, but I think there's some parity in this division entirely.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think all the divisions tonight that we're going to see a lot of, you know, horses that could, you know, go one way or the other. Getting some equipment changes already sent in. We got our first steel to barefoot coming in tonight, courtesy of Jim Oscarson and Southwind Chaska. You know, I think that Nezuko Kamado is going to be really, really tough in here, really coming in here, you know, on her game. But my top pick is going to be Set Your Sights High. But I think we got a really nice Canadian contingent right in the middle of the gate here, John, that if trips work out for them, they could do some damage. Storybook Love and Bingo Night.
Big time. And, you know, we talked about the opportunity and how excited we are to work, obviously, this event. How about the opportunity for even Todd Ratchford to participate in his first ever Breeders' Crown? I believe it's Matt Bax's first ever Breeders' Crown participant as well. So congrats to them and best of luck to them. And they have to be feeling really, really strong about their filly going into this final, not only because she drew well, because she put forth a pretty good effort in her elimination victory. And we're going to get a chance to look at that elimination performance, Randy. And a filly that was doing the bulk of her racing in New York, was always in good spots, was always racing really, really well. She was able to put it all together at a pretty big moment as well.
She did, but, you know, with a big help, big assist, and his name's Todd Ratchford. You know, what a perfect trip. Sets her up second over, and it's just a matter of whether or not she's going to get the job done. And guess what, John? She got the job done, and in good fashion.
And we're going to see Southwind Chaska. She is going to be the filly cutting this mile, though, Randy. Off the panels that she worked out, we expected her to have a little bit more. Didn't really finish up the way we're accustomed to seeing, but obviously those equipment changes, we'll touch on that momentarily. Those are pretty significant. Todd Ratchford working out a sweet second over trip. Isn't that the filly that you'd want to follow and set your sights high? And check her out when he angles her out. He has to keep her a little bit straight. You could see her starting to run in a little bit. But when he keeps her straight, she's going forward, and it was enough to get the job done.
Absolutely, and it almost seemed to me like she wanted off of Dexter's back earlier than and Todd wouldn't let her, and that's a good move by Todd. You know, that's a smart move. Draft as long as you can, as long as that, you know, cover's taking you a little bit. You know, stay on their back and then take your chance at it. He does. It's just a perfectly timed race, and she did very little racing, so that means she's going to be coming into this event, you know, quite fresh.
Yeah, and again, she's been racing really, really well all season long, and we got a chance to see her kick off her career here locally, and she put forth a pretty good effort. But this daughter of Chapter 7 is going to come into this final with some confidence, but we've also got another daughter of Chapter 7 here, the other elimination winner, Nezuko Kamado, who's coming off quite the effort here. We were talking about where was she going to get away off the car, Randy, because she had an inside draw to work with. She was prone to making some miscues earlier on in her career. Marcus Melander out of the trotting hopples, and they really helped. She did not get away in a good spot in a race that consisted of a lot of speed. But how about the stretch rally that she put forth?
Yeah, and another perfect drive by Scotty Money, too, you know. I mean, setting himself up really, really good. He knew. I mean, anybody else, but they were going fast fraction, so I think he kind of had an idea. He was going to, you know, reach up into the into the final anyway. But wow, when he sets her trotting here, look at this. She's got the side to side head going. She's digging. And, look at the way that Scotty's just bringing her here. He's just timing her. Takes a quick look to his inside, knows that he's got everybody else beat. Takes another quick look over at Yannick, making sure that he's got him beat as well. And, I would say of all the ones that I seen race that night, I'm not 100% sure if she wasn't the most impressive to me. But hear me out on this, John. She also kind of bothers me a little bit because she had the rail in her last start, got away 7th, okay? This week she's got the 2-hole inside of the gate again. I'm not 100% sure where she's going to get away. Can she push forward a little bit better, or is she going to get away towards the back of the pack? And if she does get away towards the back of the pack, that brings traffic into it. And that's one of the big things that you want to avoid in these big races is traffic.
She's got versatility. That's, I think, going to benefit her in a big way. But to your point, again, what we saw in that elimination, there's a lot of speed in this race, right? You have to figure Southland Shaska is going to be pushing out of there. Storybook Love, Bingo Night. I think Sparks could maybe throw a wrench into things and leave. Set your sights high. You went with her on top. Now, she was the favorite going into the elimination last week. And going into, if you looked at both the limbs, she was probably the favorite. If everybody just kind of surveyed who the top filly was going into a limb night. She draws the outside. We always talk about value. You're going to get a chance to regain some value or get back some value here on this daughter of In Range because she was favored in her limb. She got picked off. And because of that, she drew post 9, but she can handle the outside draw no problem. She's pretty handy.
Well, and if she's handy, then it works out even better because the reason that I went with her there is because she gets the outside gate. She gets the outside wing. When that wing comes around that turn, it's moving, and she can go. And when the starter turns them loose, she's going to be at full speed. And I think that she can get to the front, and then the rest of them have to come to her. Last week she didn't. She went in here, missed a bit of time, had to make multiple moves to kind of get there. First over, was dragging the wrong one, obviously on her back. You know what I mean? I think this week, Dexter's in a different situation. She's right back on a 7-day rotation. She's going to get the good swing of the gate, and I think he can get her out of there. And if he does on this track, trust me, one of the biggest things that you want is control.
Big time. And I think I got a chance to speak with Marcus Melander as well briefly, and he mentioned that he's going to be, I think, adding pop-out earplugs here on this filly, so I think that could add a little bit extra there. We're going to move on to race number 7 as well, and we're going to look at some more freshman fillies on the pacing side here, Randy. And again, all eyes are going to be on that 3-horse, the 1-5 morning line favorite, Lua Deepa. Everything she's done looks effortless, and she's been sensational, especially over her last few tries.
Unbelievable, and she's just getting stronger and stronger. Like, that's the thing. You would think that at this point, 11 starts, hard racing, that she would be starting to show a little bit of weakness, but she's not. If anything, she's powering up. So, this is going to be a tough takedown for her. There's a couple of really nice fillies in here, but they're not going to have to bring their A game, John. They're going to have to bring their A++ game.
And they're going to have to hope that maybe Lua Deepa can somehow regress in this final as well. They're going to need a absolute perfect storm. And it's, for me, we spoke about it a couple nights ago as well. It's hard to believe she's got 3 losses this year, given what we've seen, especially from her over her last few tries. Look, a lot of talk about Bojangles, who we'll get to momentarily, but to me, she's the best 2-year-old pacer in the sport.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And you want to know something, John? I think that certain horses, they come up here into Canada. The weather's a little bit cooler at night. They sleep better. They like it a little bit better. It's not that stifling kind of heat. When she came up from the very first time for the elimination of the She's a Great Lady, fairly, not a significant trip, wins by a half a length. Every time she's raced since she's come to Canada after that, she's overpowering. I think she's absolutely loving her stay up here in Ontario. And trust me, Lua Deepa, you can stay here as long as you want.
Speaking of overpowering, we're going to get a chance to see her elimination performance. And we're just only going to cue it up here at this point, though, Randy. But she's made a couple of moves to this point already. And they were going some fairly quick panels as well. Didn't stop her from having a lot left in the tank. Ronnie Wren had this filly absolutely wrapped up, and everybody else was racing for place.
This is the thing. Like, this is the Breeders' Crown. This is the best 2-year-old pacing fillies in North America racing in this race, and look at them all somehow or another trying to get back into her wake. And look at the way that Ronnie Wren's sitting on her. Look at her body language with the ears straight forward, looking for the wire. And Ronnie easing her back here, easing her back. Sharp drive, Ronnie Wren. And I mean, it's gonna pay, huge for the connections of this one.
How lucky have we been, though, in the sport of harness racing, especially over the last several years, to witness some of the pacing filly talent that we've gotten a chance to see, right? The Sylvia Hanovers, as well as obviously the Twinbee Joe Freshes, Lua Deepa, Chantilly last year, Mickey and Minnie. Look, Chantilly was perfect last year in a rookie campaign. She never did any traveling, though, right? She did all her racing here. Lua Deepa has done quite a bit of traveling. I mean, she's raced at multiple racetracks, and while she does have some blemishes on her resume, you could argue that if she has similar gears to what Chantilly did as a rookie, but I think she's got a little bit more personally.
I think that Chantilly had her on size and power.
Yep.
She was a big, rugged filly. This one's tall, but this one, I've never seen speed like this in a 2-year-old filly in a very, very long time. I mean, she does. It's not even the final time that they put down on the paper. It's how she gets there so easily. It's like watching Michael Phelps swim.
I know sometimes time can be a little bit skewed, especially if some of the obviously the pace scenario sets up in front of you and you can just kind of sit a trip and get the job done in a quick mile. She's doing the work. I mean, she's doing the work and she's getting it done effortlessly, absolutely wrapped up. So she's going to be a popular single, but one we're looking forward to see, because anytime she steps foot on a racetrack, she's must watch television. We're going to move on to race number 8. We're going to look at some rookie trotting colts, and it's the inside 3, Randy, that are going to take the bulk of the betting support, and I think that's the ones that a lot of people are going to be focusing on. The morning line favorite is going to be the 7-5 choice Apex. We haven't seen him compete since that Mohawk Million victory, but that Mohawk Million victory was a very impressive performance, Randy, and this guy's out of Mission Brief, and without a doubt looks to be the most talented one out of that champion mare.
Yeah, I mean, he's just remarkable, this guy. Can't say is that I'm the happiest with the fact that he got the rail, but he drew the rail in the Mohawk Million, and it didn't slow him down there, So he's going to be the way that I that I go. And trust me, this is a really tough call for me, because I love this 3-horse. This Diabolic Hill, this is a real eye catcher when you get to see him, but so is Apex. Apex, a huge race in the Mohawk Million, little bit of time off, now comes back with a qualifier there. They're setting him up really, really good for this race. And
we're going to get a chance to see his Mohawk Million performance. And Randy, this was his 4th start in a row, and he was racing 4 weeks in a row, right? I mean, and they were all big races, right? A New Jersey Classic Elim, a New Jersey Classic final, the Peter Houghton, which earned him the bye here into this Breeders' Crown, and then the Mohawk Million in what was his 4th consecutive week. But this was a tough trip. I know you can say endurance obviously tired a little bit, but he still came first up, still trotted a pretty quick back half in this winning effort. And this is a colt who just has always shown determination to get there.
Yeah, and it's the gait that he's bringing. That's the big thing too. A couple, even in endurance, and maybe this, but he's kind of hitting the ground heavy. This guy's like a ballerina out there. He just floats. He's Fred Astaire with 4 legs. He's just amazing, amazing horse, and I absolutely love him every time I see him on the track. But again, John, there's one in here that scares me. Which way I went Apex? Which way did you go?
I went Diabolic Hill, and it was tough, right? And for me, it's hard to say who's peaking more at the right time. For me, it's the maturation process of Diabolic Hill, and we'll get to that one momentarily. But we're going to look at Apex's qualifying try. We saw that Mohawk Million victory, but that was on September 20th. Marcus Melander gave this guy about a month off. And because he had the bye, he didn't have to participate in that elimination. So we're going to get a chance to see his qualifying performance. It was a dominant score. And again, even if he didn't have a qualifying effort into him, I'd still have the confidence that Marcus Melander is going to have him sharp. But they did want an extra tightener before this final.
Yeah, still straight as a string there too. On our turns and that out too wide this time. The last time we seen him. But he looking good there, moving forward. And like I said, it's this gait. It's just so efficient. I mean, you can see the power that he brings from behind. He reaches forward. He's always in a straight kind of a line, and now he's kind of got almost like a Sajinski sort of float to him there, you'll notice there. So I thought it was an incredibly good qualifier. And you want to know the truth, John, when I seen the qualifier, that's what made my mind up.
You know what? He's actually gotten a lot better getting around those turns. That was something he struggled with earlier on in his young career, and he just seems to be getting a lot better. I asked if Marcus, if anything to do with some of equipment changes or anything, or just simply maturity, and he said just simply maturity.
Looks like
so.
it.
He's certainly getting around those turns a lot better, and that's going to make him even more dangerous. He's got a stablemate though who actually did race in the elimination, and he captured it in eye-catching fashion. That's Spencer Hanover, this son of Chapter 7. Randy, he added the trotting hobbles on October 4th, and he seemed to stay at it since then. And his last couple of tries have been visually impressive.
Yeah, very, very impressive. And again, perfect drive by Jason Bartlett. He set this guy up absolutely perfect. Where you want to be, second over, avoid the traffic, and spring him 3 wide at the head of the lane. I'm not sure how Jason's going to do over the next 2 days, but I'm going to say one thing. I was hugely impressed with his driving when he was up here for the eliminations. He puts horses into play, and he gives them a chance, and that's all you can ask. So right here, perfect second over trip, and boy, does this guy know what to do with the open air, eh, John?
We weren't sure what to make of him when he was taking that wagering support. He's well bred. I mean, this was a big ticket purchase, and I thought his effort on October 11th was really strong. We just preferred a couple of others in this contest, but we knew at the head of the lane the moment Jason angled this guy off cover, we knew he was a winner. Look at the strides this guy's making. 26 and change final quarter. Look at the body language. I know the focus is going to be on Apex and Diabolic Hill, who we're going to get to in a moment. But if there's some speed to chase, I mean, we can't discount this other Marcus Melander trainee. I mean, we talk about horses peaking at the right time. Apex and Diabolic Hill, while they are coming into this Breeders' Crown final sharp, there's another one who just seems to be putting it all together at the right time as well. And he's got the speed and the talent to show for it. And that's Spencer Hanover, who we just showed. So he merits a lot of respect, and he's got a good draw to work with. So one that's going to be dangerous.
And we're still not done yet.
We're still not done yet. Again, the one starting next door to him, Diabolic Hill, who Randy mentioned just moments ago. Look, this Annie Stobie trainee, when you watched his qualifying efforts, you saw a guy that had pure speed. A little bit green though, right? He was going sideways. He wasn't trotting straight, but he had speed to go with it. And we saw that in his career debut at the Meadowlands, and he just continuously got a little bit better. Look, the New Jersey Sire Stakes program has provided some quality trotters though, Randy. I mean, we've seen the likes of Ardon, Apex, Diabolic Hill, all competing against one another. And 2 of them exiting that New Jersey Sire Stakes, those New Jersey Sire Stakes tries, they're the ones to beat here in this Breeders' Crown. But Diabolic Hill, how good and how sharp was he in his elimination performance?
Unreal.
Yeah.
But Annie Stobie's done a great job with this horse. She, it looks like she gave him just a little bit of a break. September the 5th, September the 20th was the Mohawk Million. Then she gives him another little break. He comes back with the Breeders' Crown elimination almost a month later. So she's kind of really rested him up. Only 8 starts into this guy. This guy's as fresh as can be. And I mean, his body language and his power is just unbelievable. Like to me, Apex is like a ballroom dancer almost. It's like he floats, and this guy, I mean, he's just a rugged power. He plugs in, and absolutely the body language on Todd McCarthy, amazing. Yeah, you know what? He's got quite an attitude, though, right? Andrew McCarthy, he has referenced him after his first lifetime victory, referenced him as being a naughty boy, right? Because he's got so much speed, but again, he can still learning. But for me, I'm just so impressed with the maturation process in such a short period of time, Randy. Look, I was concerned about him coming into the Mohawk Million, not because he drew post 9. That didn't help. But he was getting awfully fumbly gated in the lane, and that was a bit of a concern. Never really saw that in his young career earlier on. Then came the Mohawk Million, never saw a set of pylons, was moving forward. He had no business continuing to move forward at the speed that he did. And then you get a chance to speak with Annie Stobie and hear that she went from aluminum to steel shoes, and it certainly helped his gait, certainly helped him look a lot better. I'm not sure if it helped with even the maturity, but the week after in his elimination or in the qualifying try as well as the elimination, I mean, I've never seen him look sharper. So clearly it made a heap of a difference. Yeah, well, aluminum shoes are fast. I mean, you put them on for a reason when you're hoping your horse goes a big mile, but they can also do a little bit of damage too. They got big, heavy, grabs on them. Sometimes you can file that grab down, but you understand, like a horse is going to go with his foot where he kind of wants. Aluminum, when they're short, when they're light shoe like that, they're going to keep their feet closer to the ground. So they just move a little bit different, and sometimes it can be a bit hard on them. This horse is doing what he's doing with a set of steel shoes on. That's amazing. All right, we're looking forward to race number 8, which is going to feature the 2-year-old trotting colts, and we're going to move on to race number 9, which is going to wrap up Breeders' Crown action for tonight.
but we're going to feature the 2-year-old pacing colts, and all eyes are going to be on our local superstar, Randy, the 6-horse Bojangles, looking to keep his perfect streak alive. Perfect 11 for 11. He's never looked sharper coming into this final, Randy.
Yeah, he's just been he's been an amazing horse. You know, every once in a while something comes along that you're going to remember for the rest of your life if you're in this business. You know, and this is one of those situations. You know, whether it be a Some Beach Somewhere, or in my time a Niatros, or before that a Brett Hanover, some horse that comes along that's just a little bit stands out a little bit more than the rest, and I think that's what we're seeing with the great Bojangles.
We've seen Bojangles pass every test to this point, but this is by far going to be his toughest test, and also because he's going to get a chance to take on an Andrew Harris trainee for the first time in his younger career, Brandon Boulevard, who did the bulk of his racing in Kentucky, but came here to Ontario to partake in that Breeders' Crown elimination, and he made a great account of himself, Randy. A Canadian record, 148-4 performance. Yes, he tripped out, but the body language was strong, I thought. And this is a colt who's raced really, really well all year. And even Doc acknowledged this is going to be likely his toughest foe here tonight. And we're going to get a chance to see his elimination victory, Randy. And why don't you tell me what you saw and what you think?
Well, I mean, I think he had it, you know, in a way, he had a lot easier than Bo did in some ways, because, you know, he had Dad setting down these huge fractions. You know, Doc Moore's other horse there, they were at the half and 52-4, 3/4 and 121. You know, Bo chopped it out, and he was there in 122-4. So, you know, Brandon Boulevard raced amazingly well, but really only had to do minimal work. Whereas the Moore horse, again, you know, he had to do the bulk of the lifting, you know, and seemed to be able to get the job done. But, you know, Andrew Harris done a great job with this guy. He's peaking him at the right time. He's got a good movement on the end of it. But, you know, I still think that, you know, maybe Bojangles has a little bit of an advantage.
All right, we're going to get a chance to see Bojangles here as well. Obviously, my top selection here in this spot, I assume you went to him as well to look to remain a perfect throughout his rookie campaign. And everything's been absolutely effortless for this guy. I mean, we've seen every single start here in Ontario, and a colt who's never had to travel. And again, the elims, he took on a pretty good group, but he made it look easy yet again, and we're going to get a chance to see his elimination victory. And kind of similar to what we've seen all season long, Randy, he works his way to the front. Maybe a horse comes at him, and he just absolutely puts them away. Bob calls on him once during the stretch drive, and off this Son of Cattle Wash goes.
You know where he's the most impressive to me is after the race is over.
Yep.
And his recovery, like he goes from coming back, he'll have a little bit of a blowing, you know, his nostrils will be, you know, flaring a little bit. Within a minute, this horse is completely cooled out. His lung capacity must be amazing. His road to recovery, his ability to recover from a big mile. That's, to me, is the big talent of this horse, is the fact that he for whatever reason, he doesn't seem to get tired. Even here, when people say, oh, well, so-and-so was closing up on him, he was we've seen horses close up, and then as soon as they get close enough to him, he just puts it into a different gear and moves away. And Bobby has even come out and said that. He'll play a little bit of possum with a horse. He'll let a horse kind of get to him, and then he'll just, you know, put in the killer move and move away. So this horse is really, you know, this is an amazing job done by McClure. It's, you know, obviously the star of the show is Bojangles, but really the most amazing to me is Moore, that he's able to have this horse after 11 starts, 11 wins, and have him the way that he is and the way that he looks going into this Breeders' Crown final. Big props for Doc Moore. This is why the guy's in the Hall of Fame.
And obviously mentioned in an interview with Standard Canada saying that, you know, the decision to race him a couple more starts in the Breeders' Crown was a lot easier knowing it was in our backyard. He said if it was stateside, he said they would have wrapped up his rookie campaign and after 10 starts, after a perfect 10 for 10, and said we'll see you next year in what is a highly anticipated 3-year-old campaign. But we're rooting for him here locally, again, an Ontario-sired superstar that we get to watch compete here tonight. But we've got a lot of thoughts and we had a lot of opinions last weekend, though, Randy. But let's bring in our announcer and our partner, Chad Rosema, here to kind of hear some of his thoughts on last weekend. And Chad, I mean, you got to call all the action last week, and I know you're looking forward to calling all the action here this weekend for what's going to be your first time. But for you, what stood out to you last weekend, especially coming into tonight?
Well, as you guys know, every Breeders' Crown, there's always storylines, right? And we've got them plenty of them to go over the next couple of nights. But, just a couple of things that kind of stand out to me. You guys have sort of already touched on each of them, and we're going to go back because, we're talking the 2-year-olds tonight in that pacing colt division. Bojangles has been such a pleasure to not only call in those races, all victories for him, but he's just been such a pleasure to watch on the track and him do his thing. And, we all know the race goes through him, but if you're looking for an option to maybe play underneath, Melillo, I know you guys were talking about him already in his elimination. He's one of 4 that Team Burke's going to send out in that 2-year-old event. And first time that he ever missed the board in his career was last week in the elimination, and it was really no fault of his own. We're going to give you a couple of looks at this so we can see where he is. He's basically last on the inside right now with Ronnie Wren. And James McDonald with Sweet Love and Lou, he's the one that makes the miscue just as Wren's trying to get to the outside and try and find a seam. Well, then he's got to shy away from that. When he does that, the horse to his left is Teacher with Lindy Dragonwater. I haven't confirmed this, but to me it looks like he stepped on the wheel. So, again, another bobble. So he's kind of interfered with when he goes to the right. He's kind of interfered with when he goes to the left. So he's got to regain his composure after this. And once he does that and he kind of gets out of the way of all of this and sets himself back down, I mean, I don't think there's any argument. And we're going to get a great look at it now. He's sort of in the center of the track. He's about 4th or 5th right now, and then he's going to continue to duck to the inside. And, I mean, he is just so live on the end of this mile. Ends up finishing 4th, but he, again, was just very, very fast finishing on the end of it. And look at him on the run out. I mean, he's just absolutely gone. So there's a lot of talent here with this colt. And, I mean, if they happen to mix it up, this is a horse that, especially with a better draw this week, I think could work out a trip that could get him maybe to the exacta, because I wouldn't be trying to pick against Bojangles. I'd love to see him remain undefeated at the end of his rookie campaign, but for the exacta option, I think Melillo's a very good possibility in behind there. And then you guys, I know Randy was very impressed, as were you, John, with Jason Bartlett. Last weekend and what he did. Well, Jason's been driving. He's been at this game a long time. I mean, he started in the late 90s, which were late teens for him. And, I mean, annually, he always seems to be one of the top guys. Right now, he leads all drivers in North America by money. He's 2nd in wins and just an amazing career stats and he's actually in the midst of a career year right now. But he's in search of his first Breeders' Crown title. Now, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities just yet. He's had 10 finals that he's been in, and last year he was actually in 6 of those 10, and he finished 2nd on 2 occasions. Well, he's got a lot of opportunities this weekend. He had 10 Breeders' Crown elimination drives. He got 6 of them qualified for the finals. I believe he's got 8 finals he's driving in overall over the 2 nights, including a couple of elimination winners, guys. I won't be surprised in the least if we see Jason Bartlett hoisting his first Breeders' Crown trophy by weekend's end.
Wouldn't surprise me at all, Chad. And a great eye there by Melillo, one that caught your eye just as that race concluded, one that you told Randy and I right away. We've got to, obviously the eyeballs are going to be on some of those other Burke colts when we've seen the flashes of talent, flashes of speed from them earlier on in their campaign. But Melillo, again, that was a really, really good performance. And again, Jason Bartlett, we love guys who can kind of shake things up and shake the racing style out. And Bartlett puts horses in positions to succeed. And he really mixes up the racing scene wherever he is.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that was a really good eye, Chad, because, from a driver's perspective, when a horse steps on a wheel like that and kind of gets rocked around a little bit, a lot of times they won't, re-pick up the bit and come forward. And he did. So that was a really, really amazing effort there.
All right.
Yeah, big effort. And you know what? Great job on the show here, guys. I know you guys are excited, as am I up here. Enjoy it over the next couple of nights.
Appreciate you to enjoy it as well, Chad. I know you've had a lot of milestones here calling-wise this year, but I know you're looking forward to this weekend as well. So best of luck over the next couple of nights.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right. There's our view from the booth. It was nice to hear Chad's thoughts as well. I know he's usually accustomed to being here on set, previewing all the action, but he's going to do a great job calling all the action over the next couple of nights, and he's done a great job calling throughout the last several months. But Randy, there's our kind of preview here on a Friday night edition here of the Breeders' Crown Finals. Of course, 4 2-year-old divisions that we were able to look at. Busier pre-show tomorrow night with the 8 divisions for the 3-year-olds and olders. But we've also got a heavy wagering slate as well. And you and I, while we love previewing the action, we're competitive. We want to have some luck here on the handicapping side and selection side. So let's look at some plays boards here for you and I. let's go through some of your top selections that you're looking forward here tonight.
Yeah, well, here we go. We're going to start this off right in race number 1, John, and that's going to be my all-in. That's going to be Style for a Mile coming from the 6th hole. And race number 2 is going to be my Beat the Favorite, and that's going to be Cold Creek Fuego. And race number 5 will be Worth a Look, which was very kind to me last night, and that's going to be Blinded by Delight. And my Waples Watch in race number 10, Grit and Grace.
Yeah, and I'm going to be going head-to-head with you in all of these races, but I like all your picks. I think these are ones that have a big shot. My Worth a Look, Sunset Lou.
Nice.
You have to really look at that replay closely.
I got him in for second.
Yeah, to know how much pace this guy had and what was a tough trip. Spot play, Mickey 6. I think this mare is in a really good spot here tonight. My all-in is Diabolic Hill. It's going to be tough to beat Apex. I like the way this guy's trending into his Breeders' Crown final, and my best bet is Seclusion. I really thought that Grit and Grace had a trouble trip as well, but how good was this mare last time out in amongst rivals? There's our thoughts here on this Friday night program. We're going to look at some plays of the night from some resident handicappers as well. Gislan Piquet, Blue Point, it's time. Garnet Barnsdale going to Mastercraft as his spot play. I know Chris Christopher was pretty high on this guy with the class drop. And Kevin Ploucha handling DRF duties, going with Stylish Stella.
That's an interesting one.
As his value play. Never had a chance last time.
Yeah,
One to
interesting.
monitor going into tonight. It's fun recapping all the action, though, Randy. We're looking forward to recapping it and covering it all night long. It's going to be a busy Friday night program, and we're looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, just one quick thing before we start this going. We are missing one guy of our broadcast team. You, me, Chad. Big shout out to our guy at home, Kenny Middleton.
Listen, he's been a part of so many monumental nights, and he's a voice that everybody who's become synonymous not only here at this track, but some of its biggest events and memories as well. So we miss you, Kenny, and we hope you're watching, and we hope you enjoy this weekend's action. So, Randy, without further ado, I think that we kick off the festivities momentarily, but I think we've got some anthems as well to start things off with as well.
Yes, that we do.